Hi, everybody, it's James, and welcome back to the Swifts. We're here in January after winter break, because apparently Scotland does have a winter break. And we're ready to take Patrick Thistle on in the Cup, which I think we win 2 games and we're in the quarterfinals, which is great, because obviously the Cup is where we make a lot of our money, and we need a lot of the money because I've just spent £500,000 on 2 players, which you're going to see in a bit, for depth. Not for starting, but for depth, because I could only afford players for depth. To go on with what you guys have seen lately, you saw our 2-2 draw with Rangers, and not to be outdone, we decided to have another 2-2 draw, this time against St. Mirren. I believe we're 5th in the table? But either way, it was kind of a way to whimper out of the year. And then obviously there was a nice break, and now we're back. And we've got some players, we've got things, and we are playing against Patrick Thistle. Is this a home game? It is a home game. So we're second in the table now, as a lot of people have kind of been catching up with games. Once again, still not sure why we're second. We're a good team, but do we have the most draws? No. We are second in wins. We've lost. Us and Rangers have lost the least amount of games. They just have one more than us. That explains a lot. Anyways, here we are. We're looking at Patrick Thistle. They are what? In the championship. They're very high up in the championship. They're in the playoff positions. So very strong team. And we're going to take our best 11 out because we've had, some time. They've got some training. Everybody looks good. Everybody's back and fresh. And speaking of that, let's introduce you to the best 11. We're not loaning any players right now. I'm looking into loans. But this is where we're kind of at. We've got Farrell, Bonifigo, and Young, Frederick, Murphy, Dragon, Westberg, Ruiz, Gomez, Grandiosi, and Shemek. But there's 2 new guys, and they're right here on the bench. Well, I should probably show you them through the transfer history here. First was Santos. All right, James. Sean Morgan. Oh yeah, he came in finally. Santos is a Brazilian wingback who can play left or right wingback, and he's either footed. Sporting, he does well on the ball, but he is a pacey, halfway decent wingback. And I was like, hey, I can pick this guy up. And I did. And he's got some potential, more so than Marco. But he is very much like, this is the guy we bring on at the end of the game where we're like, we need to push for a goal, and I need an attacking threat down the right or left-hand side. So Santos, attacking wingback, very strong. Could take Marco's starting job, possibly. He is a good wingback on attack, but also a halfway decent wingback on support. His marking isn't the best, but he does make that up for tackling. His technique is great, and that balance, acceleration, and pace, that always says something, right? Then on the same day, we brought in the Colombian Martin Montano, and that's because Manchester United took ball away from us. So we don't have him anymore. So I needed to kind of come up with this. And this guy is a solid defensive midfielder. He's not as good as Dragon. But if he needs to, if Dragon needs a rest or rotation, this guy is pretty solid. Not as much of a crunching, marking, tacking, passing, but he can kind of do a little bit of everything. Strength and stamina. I love the fact that he's high on that. And the other thing, too, is he can play a little further forward, can be a little bit more of a guy who can control the midfield. I like the fact that he can play as a box-to-box. We can always bring him in for that. Just somebody once again, he adds more depth to the bench. I'm happy about that. And it has made the team a little bit stronger overall. Would I like to get another maybe striker? Probably. I don't think I need another midfielder, and then maybe another center back, because the center backs after these 2 are okay, but not great. But I think we've kind of handled some of our situations, and then I'm also going to look at selling a few players. Also, Min's gone. We sent him back to Houston, where he came from. We got him on a free, sent him back for £50,000. good bit of business. Ruiz took over as club captain. One for the other. He's got 15 leadership and 14 teamwork, and he's 20. So the older guys and one of the elder statesmen in the club. So good news there. Also, Murphy is wanted by clubs, but he's got that £100 million release clause. So we're going to just ride that one into the sunset. Here's the team for today. Farrell, Bonifigo, Young, Frederick, Murphy, Dragon, Westberg, Ruiz, Gomez, Grandiosi, and Semic, with Webb, Gardner, Santos, Montanaro, Agnew, Suarez, and Zabala on the bench. I'm excited for this. The team looks good. I'm happy with the signings. I'm happy that everybody else is happy. I think this can be a solid thing and it can allow us to kind of have some rotation. Good run, impressed me. Yeah, we're on the bounce of 2 draws, so we haven't lost and we've dropped some points. But, dropping some points in the games we have, we're not losing ground on a championship run that, to be honest, we have no right in being in. We have no right being where we are right now. And I'm going to go positive also for this game because we technically are the stronger side. So I think us being positive and working to just be more on the aggressive side will help. As Gomez finds Murphy, finds Frederick, nice ball out here to Grandiosi. He's going to flash that cross in. Yeah, he did. But, oh, wow, another one. Young was floating there. Miller makes a save. I never like it when these... Okay, Westbrook does get it. Farrell. Wow. I thought that was offside. I was going to say Young is in a hell of a position, but it did look very offside. Let's just see how bad it is. Yeah, they just stepped up to beat him, but a good finish by Young and something that we're showing that these guys kind of we look feisty off the trot, which is good. High possession, high things, a lot of good things going on. I think I can maybe do this. We'll set the wing backs here on attack. I'm seeing us dominating possession, better pass completions, we're completing our tackles, we're winning our headers. We have XG and we'll just look at the shots. If that's the case, I think we can push the wing backs up. Frederick, Gomez. I think it's the first headed goal that one of our center backs have scored this year. Which is great. I mean, Gomez is tall enough and has the jumping reach and the heading ability to do that. And we set our set pieces up to do that. Obviously, Gomez had a beautiful shot before. Oh, Young, beautiful pass. Oh, ref. Book him. He didn't book the guy? It's obviously an obvious scoring opportunity. Farrell slots it in, makes it 2. And just like that, we're already showing our quality. Absolutely key. Yeah, Gomez had that beautiful, turn and shoot. But yeah, he's obviously meant to be more of a guy who heads the ball in. Farrell has had a good game. And immediately, team looks like they're playing really well. Gustavo Gomez has his header in there. Farrell gets a nice goal on the counterattack after Young finds him with a nice switch of play. And we can just play positively. We're not overly dominating them, or we're not trying to overly attack, which is fine. As Bonifigo doesn't quite get to it, Young will click this one off, though. And here we go. Young be composed. He wasn't. But this is what maybe we need to start games on positive because we are really looking good. And I think Frederick also now, the fact that we also canceled Hunter's loan, just because we're paying so much for not, Frederick, I think, was giving us just as good a quality as Hunter, and we own him, and he's less he's less money. So why wouldn't we give him the shot? So we did, and I'm happy with it. We don't need to do this, but I am going to bring in Montero and then Grandiosi for Santos. Just because I want to get them into the game. I mean, they're new signings. You guys wanted to see them in the game, right? Grandiosi wasn't having the best game, but there was that. And, Dragon gets used so much, it would be good just to clear him out and just give him a little bit of a break because we're going to play again in a couple of days. Shemek. Bonifigo finds Farrell. Oh my God. I mean, hell of a save by Miller, but look at that shot from Farrell. My God. Frederick. Ball in. Ruiz gets the header on target that time. Just look at the you don't see, I mean, we've been kind of sweating out a lot of our championship games here, but you know what? It's nice to see our premiership games here, but it's nice to see our championship, like us come up against the championship side, and just, this is domination. Like, we haven't had too many games like this where we're like inking. And Santos on his debut, welcome to the club, finds a beautiful ball into the back of the net. And we are now 3-0 up on Patrick Thistle. And cruising for sure. Frederick is getting a little tired. We'll make our last change, bring Agnew on, who's been wanting to play more. So obviously we'll give him the shot. Murphy gets tackled by Phillips. His touch is too hard, and Semek easily cleans up. Bonifigo wins that header, finds it to Young, feeds it through to Farrell. First shot is blocked, second shot isn't. Farrell with his second of the game, fourth. I mean, when this formation works, it works to perfection. Farrell, beautiful one in. Montero, Santos, it's good. The team is playing well. Obviously, it's a one-off game, but it's a one-off game coming back from a break and where we've drawn the last two in a row. One against Rangers, which we're happy with. One against St. Mirren, which we're not so happy with. But this is a game we should have dominated it, and rightly are. Look at this. Beautiful. An 8.6, Gomez on a 7.8, Santos on a 7.6. Wow. I mean, their keeper 7 point as well, because obviously he made a lot of saves because we were peppering that goal. But I am absolutely pleased. The debutantes came in. Absolutely. It was great. It was superb. It was wonderful. I absolutely loved it. The draw is the next day, so we're just going to look at that. We get through the next round. Achievements to center. Victory. Ten Hag was there to look at Murphy. Because of course he was. Hey, Farrell, you were absolutely superb in front of goal. Press conference. There was the important things. I was pleased. Fancy doing that today. His debut was wonderful. I wouldn't swap him for Romelu. Yeah, I wouldn't swap him for Lukaku. I mean, I would probably want Lukaku, but Lukaku's like, 33 now in this game? In this save? At this point? So, yeah. And a save. Welcome to the transfer window, where everything takes an hour, which is the other reason why, I'm only going to give you guys one game today, because everything takes a freaking hour to go anywhere. So we're in January. I can tell you where we're coming back for. We're coming back for Celtic at the end of the year, at the end of the day. So it's deadline day in Celtic, which is, you don't want to see us play Hibs at 8th or Livingston in 10th, unless we get a good, interesting cup, and then probably cup draw, because, the cup is interesting, right? Center of Achievements. Wraith against reserves. He's making... I thought he was consistent. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I'll sign him on a free. This guy is a Dutch striker who's out of contract, and we're going to be signing. And I don't know much. My scouts said he looked pretty good. And he's got a minimum free release cost of 2.6 million pounds. So I'm willing to take a shot on him. You know, no transfer. 20-year-old Pedro Batista. He's from Holland. I imagine he's got some, and he's Portuguese as well. He's got basic English, but he'll learn the English while he's doing that. Who's left in the cup? A lot of people left still in the cup. Let's just draw all teams. Kilmarnock. Hey! Our boys. Kilmarnock. We haven't played you guys in a little while. That'll be a fun one. When is that? February 7th. Well, there you go. All right. So that means... Perfect. Celtic in the cup. I'll see you guys there. So until then, I've been James. You've been you. This has been the Swifts. It's not how good you are. It's how good you want to be. We'll see you then, folks. Bye-bye.